Hello everyone and welcome back, Dace here. Let's cut to the chase. Thunder Dragon 2 is finally on Switch and I can hardly contain myself because I've been desperately craving this game getting a Switch release ever since I played the first one in March of 2021. This arcade classic pushes the action to the limit, looks incredible, sounds amazing, and is loaded with secrets. So if you're a fan of old school shooters that plunge you deep into chaotic enemy fire, or someone with a budding interest in retro shmups, stick around because today we'll be taking a look at some of what Thunder Dragon 2 offers. With all that out of the way, let's get into this. Thunder Dragon 2 is a 1-to-2 player vertical scrolling STG published by NMK in 1993. While I enjoy NMK-published shmups, TD2 ranks among the best in my opinion. It's relentlessly aggressive, leaving little to no room for you to kick back and relax, which is always a thrill for me. The story's up for grabs as far as I'm concerned, but we at least know we're flying a craft and probably fighting an evil force of some sort. An average run will take approximately 30 minutes and the game features variable scroll rates. Sometimes you'll be cruising along blasting foes out of the air or coming to a standstill while waves of enemies filter onto the screen to target you. I love seeing this style used because not only is the varied pace refreshing, but it feels more realistic when approaching things like massive defensive walls with turrets that would clearly require more time to destroy compared to minor enemies. Unlike the first Thunder Dragon title, where we control a type of hovercopter, Thunder Dragon 2's ship types take a more traditional approach with an old-style warplane and fighter jet. The Player 1 craft is slower but more powerful and fires a spread, whereas the Player 2 craft fires straight ahead, is weaker but moves faster. I've seen super plays and it's insane how fast the first player plane can take down enemies. The standard shot can be powered up by collecting power-up items, and each craft is equipped with bombs. Missiles can also be obtained that fire simultaneously with your main shot. For Player 1, they fire straight ahead, and for Player 2, the missiles are heat-seeking. The game consists of 8 stages riddled with various enemies, including planes, tanks, helicopters, ships with 4 horizontal propellers, cars ripping across the desert, and plenty of other awesome foes. The bosses are truly wicked in their design, and it's epic going up against these massive heaps of metal in the sky. One boss in particular is larger than the screen and moves from side to side as you destroy its weaponry. Throughout the run, you'll see everything from double laser beams, nasty spread shots, flamethrowers, rockets, the list goes on. These fights are a blast, and I love Thunder Dragon 2 for its over-the-top action. For the most part, enemy fire will target you directly, but you'll still be faced with some non-targeted attacks, especially during boss fights. The game does include a rank system as well. The deeper you go into the run while no missing, the faster the bullets move. Interestingly enough, there are no extends in this game. You get your starting lives and that's it. A neat thing about TD2 is that while the enemies and bosses will time out, their duration doesn't actually revolve around time, but instead, their HP gradually drains. For example, if you sit during a boss fight and don't attack, they'll eventually explode instead of flying away. In my opinion, Thunder Dragon 2's visual presentation is astonishing. We've got fantastic backgrounds and fascinating details peppered in throughout the aerial journey. Some of my favorite backgrounds are Stage 1, with its meandering blue river cut into the lush green countryside far below, and Stage 2's dense forest and huge hidden hangar that the boss emerges from. Stage 3 has an excellent desert theme with palm trees and ruined buildings, while Stage 4 dishes out a cool Arctic region where we fly over open water with a whale or two and snowy areas. There's even a dog running around in circles, and details like this are simply brilliant. As for scoring, we get an in-depth and well-rounded package in TD2, which keeps things interesting. In addition to receiving points from destroying enemies, there are loads of hidden medals to discover and other secrets, like shooting the text at the start of each stage and even the closing credits. You can get massive points of shooting them all down. Maybe it's my lack of awareness, but I don't recall another game I've personally seen that does this sort of thing, so I think it's a super cool implementation. Some bosses have score tricks, where items dropped by the boss are worth substantially more than usual if destroying parts in a specific order. The medal collecting is a fun aspect of this game. Some grant a set amount of points like 500 or 1000, while others are chainable up to a maximum of 10,000 points. The chaining medals only reset if you lose a life, so if you miss grabbing one, you don't need to worry. Some medals can be collected in sets of 3 to release an additional bomb item on the screen. There are plenty of obscure details embedded in this game, and one that I've heard of before is that there's an invisible line across the screen. If you kill specific enemies before they cross this line, they drop a chainable medal. If not, you miss out on the bonus. Thunder Dragon 2's nuances are outrageous, but I lap stuff like this up. Furthermore, speed-killing enemies will spawn extra foes, so be prepared for a wild time if playing for score, because you'll be juggling memorizing where all the secrets are and staying on top of the constant gunfire coming at you. If you achieve a certain degree of efficiency with your speed kills, a special enemy will spawn that drops a medal worth a boatload of points. There's also a bonus for reaching the maximum bomb count. The score involves a lot, and there could even be much more I'm just not aware of yet. And as per usual, we have access to high score and caravan modes. In terms of the controls, everything feels tight and super smooth. The music in TD2 is super bassy, upbeat, and motivates you to keep chugging along no matter how crazy things get. I never get tired of listening to soundtracks like this, and if I could find it on vinyl, I'd be spinning it all day. Hearing the sound effects are a retro dream come true, just like the first game was. Explosions are crispy, collecting medals is satisfying, and the sound of laser beams cutting sharply through the sky is striking. All in all, the music and sounds are classical bliss to my ears. In conclusion, Thunder Dragon 2 is a challenging, intense, and terrific arcade shooter that deeply deserves its place on modern consoles. The sheer graphical depth is out of this world, the scoring is layered, and the difficulty is definitely up there. If you don't typically shy away from STGs like this, then TD2 belongs on your Switch or PlayStation 4. Even if you don't feel confident taking on the challenge, grab a friend and tackle it cooperatively. Anyway, that's where we're leaving off for today. Let me know if you're aiming to snag this one, or if you've played it in the past and have things you either like or dislike about the game. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to keep your days STG infused. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.